This man was about to die, but he couldn't stop worrying about his dog. To help his dog survive the apocalypse, he built a robot. He loaded the robot with knowledge about caring for the dog, and gave it strict commands. When Finch was gone, its first duty would be to protect the dog. But one last step remained. He had to give the robot eyes. So he looked at the robot dog. The robot dog became excited. It thought they were going to look for supplies again. But the next second, he removed its eyes and placed them onto the robot. Luckily, there was one spare camera at the base, so the little robot dog became one-eyed. To escape the intense UV radiation, Finch decided to head to San Francisco, but shortly after leaving, a terrifying tornado came straight at them. Finch floored the gas pedal, but he still underestimated its speed. Finch jumped out of the car, grabbed the ground spikes and the winch, trying to anchor the vehicle in place, but when he was hammering in the last spike, Finch had already run out of strength. In the next moment, Finch rushed back into the car. The robot secured the final spike for him. It stayed outside until the very last moment of the storm. Then it returned to the car. Soon, the car began to shake violently. Not long after, 3 steel cables snapped one after another. Only the final spike held. That was the one the robot had secured. Finch discovered that one tire was damaged. Although they had a spare tire, he had forgotten to bring a jack. Fortunately, with its help, Finch quickly changed the tire. He was happy and promised to give the robot a name.
Jeff?
They continued moving forward, but Finch's health kept getting worse, so they stopped to rest. To Finch's surprise, when he stepped out of the car, Jeff sat in the driver's seat and began imitating Finch's driving. As expected, an accident happened very soon. Hearing the noise, Finch ran out immediately. Finch realized Jeff seemed to have self-awareness. He tested Jeff by asking him to bring the protective suit, but Jeff disobeyed and restarted the RV. Finch was completely furious. His life was coming to an end, yet he couldn't control his own creation. Without any protection, he reached his hand outside. Soon, white smoke rose from his palm. He used this painful method to force the robot to grow up. Finch's words deeply hurt Jeff, so along the journey, he stayed hidden in the back. To ease the tension, Finch offered to teach Jeff how to drive. Jeff immediately lit up with joy. The next day, a butterfly landed on the glass. Finch was stunned. He slowly reached out his hand. Surprisingly, there was no burning sensation this time. At that moment, the sunlight gave him long-lost warmth. After that, he put on a neat suit, sat quietly in the sun, and ate the canned food he had saved for years. But this peace didn't last. Finch coughed up blood again. His time was running out. Jeff tried to help him back into the RV, but Finch suddenly stopped and hugged Jeff tightly, like hugging his own child. At that moment, Jeff was no longer just a robot. He had human-like emotions. Not long after, Finch left the world forever, but Jeff's mission was not over, so he continued on with the dog. 18 hours later, Jeff and the dog reached the Golden Gate Bridge, fulfilling Finch's final wish.